lessons involve contracts. Welcome back to Pisces TV with Montana Buns, Dr. MB. I don't know, I'm working on that. Thank you guys for tuning in as we talk about your finances, circumstances, career, life purpose, life path. I like these cards. A lot of good energy. I felt two things when I got locked on one way. I saw another one and I said, oh, I like that. So let's go ahead and get started. If you are new to the channel, there's a lot of information in the description box. My contact information, a link to my store for booking products and services, as well as the Patreon link to join us on the other side if you're interested in membership. Here on YouTube, we have the store, our member section, and the community board, so check all of that out. I won't even go into this deep spiel because I'm too excited. I'm having a contest each month. I like to give away things, okay? And so free readings seem to be popular. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram at ibuns, or check the community board for coupon codes, products, specials, and the daily vibes, okay? Now, as we get started, I love this. It's like, what you want first, the good news or the bad news? Good news? Bad news? No news? Okay. There's no bad news. I was kidding. So here we have it. Who wants good news? These Three of Wands in this current situation, it does talk about opportunity. Some of you, there may be an opportunity with caution, okay? So it talks about patience, right? Because we got this little bit of rushing. Waiting for the ships to come in, all right? Looking out over your kingdom, receiving good news, business, retail, okay? Shipping and packing. So some of y'all waiting on something. Nothing wrong with that. I don't see delays, so that's a good thing. Now, the timing could be, for some of you, if you're planning a trip, buying a car, traveling. We got 3 days. I don't know what's up with this number 3, but it's something. Also represents Sun and Aries energy, so that could help for some of you guys, okay? But there's an element of caution here, okay? You've put a lot of hard work into something and you're waiting on a return for your investment. I feel like you're going to get good news. I think the ships have not come in yet. They're not on the dock. Some of you may see those ships out in the distance and some of you may not, but the reward is still uncertain. Now, it may be for you, maybe not for spirit, okay? So there's that caution for you, but it may not be necessary, okay? If there's a waiting period for those of you that have been waiting on this good news, okay? Just keep that in mind that it could be coming. Others of you may be focusing on the next steps you need to take, but all things come in time to those who wait and that are patient. The Three of Wands could indicate traveling for some of you guys to a far off distant place. Sometimes your business could be overseas. Some of you may be opening online stores and things like that, or there may be an increase of that nature. Now with the Knight of Swords, those are the only other suits that move as fast as the Wands. So we have some more swiftness here, okay? Now the Knight of Swords is thinking, for some of you, wishing. It also talks about movement, being in multiple places at once. So some of you guys could actually be moving. Others of you, it just talks about moving fast or maybe a little bit impatient because you're fearless and brave and daring. You know, appreciate your courage. But there may be a need for the patience here if the Knight of Swords is a challenging aspect for you, right? So we also have, what are we in? We're in Libra Moon right now. This court card is air, so I did just want to bring that out for you. All right? If there are challenges in your environment, right? Not from you, maybe it's even your feelings or your thinkings. This is thinking that could turn into feelings. So just be mindful of that. Could be good, could be not so good. But I do feel like some news is coming to you and like they can't wait. It's like coming quickly. You see what I'm saying? You got the King of Wands and he's in his power. The Chariot is being driven possibly by the King of Wands in a direction, okay? And I feel like you're winning something, all right? You cutting ties with the old ways, creating new paths, and this must be done rapidly and quickly. So remember I told you I saw this in 2 ways. Some of you, most of us, this is an energy of getting some really, really good news. But for some, it's like in this creating of a new path, there's an energy of wishing and hoping, right? And there needs to be a little bit more action put into it, because it's like the only reason why I'm saying this, because I read you guys' comment. I do really care about you, all of your comments actually, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But I do get a lot of what you see or hear in Pisces readings and what you're expecting in your day-to-day life, and when is it going to happen for me. And I try not to just rapidly respond to that. I always offer you guys, of course, readings. I do same day availability and but without giving you a spiel, like genuinely from my heart. My messages usually, there's probably some action that need to be taken or some patience. It's always either or. So if you are watching videos and don't feel that most of the readings are resonating, you can always check other aspects of your chart. Or sometimes just take a look at how much actions have been put into something. Okay. And it's like, what are you expecting? Boom. What have you put into that? Boom. And if it's clarity or next steps or how can I or what do I do, these cards are saying to focus. Avoid distractions. Be like insanely focused and be very assertive. You know what I'm saying? With the good, the bad, and the ugly. Be very assertive. But I do feel like I said, more than not, that it's more about the good news. It's more about the excitement and the speed that this news is going to come to you in. May even be out of nowhere for some. You know, I hate to say that because it also aligns with someone hoping, wishing, and praying, which is also that out of nowhere kind of energy. But I still like it. I still like it for the most part. With our King of Wands being very sporty and active and energetic, this is a go-getter. Okay, and in some cases it talks about ethics and morals. So some of you guys could have made some good decisions or, made good choices, and those ships are coming in due to past efforts. Others of you may get a little bit more popular as it talks about commerce, business, online, right? But also down to earth and motivated, very persistent. Okay, so be persistent, like in your waiting, because if there's a weakness in the Knight of Wands, ironically, the most powerful go-getter on the flip side could be overly indulged in distractions, lazy, frivolous, you know what I'm saying, or unreliable. Others of you kind of just like watch your, I get the craziest messages. Watch your vehicles, right? Because this looks like a fan or something, a motor. I don't know if it's still hot where you are or what that means. And then, running, and then we have the vehicle with the chariot. So just be mindful of that. And I did say that like last week or a few days ago about being mindful of when you're in commute, okay, or transportation. So just know that the wind, the breezes, this is the wind, the chariot possibly running in the wind, and the King of Wands using that wind like you are the wind beneath my wings. You know what I'm saying? My power, as we talk about solar power. Now, I also received an alert because I did say this was kind of life purpose, kind of, and I do throw cosmic, kind of messages in there. I haven't checked the ozone color or whatever. I know, and I don't know if it's because like I'm usually up really high, but the sun beams hard, right? And I noticed a lot of chemtrails and I noticed a lot of clouds. So I was like, are they purposefully changing the clouds, putting some in the air? Because because we're talking about solar and power. And that's like the wind chimes is, all that kind of stuff. So I did just want to say, depending on like your geographic location, it could be one of those warnings, the global warming kind of warnings. Be mindful of that. And I did get for the state of California, like there's this at home kind of red flag kind of thing going with the quarantine. Didn't know if that has something to do with it being so hot the last couple of days, because I'm talking about it's skin burning kind of hot if you're in direct sunlight. So, just want to throw that out there in case somebody needs that. But I always watch the news and pay attention to what people say in your area. Now, I know that 7 is a lucky number for Pisces, so I always like to see 7s. The chariot being your number 7 talks about success. So some of you could be very lucky. Achievements, gold. Some of you may be gold oriented, okay? Goal oriented. and just the duality of winning and fortitude and leadership and being very driven. If you're asking, like, how can I be? What can I do? Focus on your short-term goals. This is what the Chariot says. Whatever you can get to the soonest, and I don't mean that in a rush kind of way. It's just that so that, as we are water and we have the intuition, the emotion, the insight, the creativity, it also talks about our focus and our planning and our goals and being assertive. So it's like you don't have to focus on, I want to be a millionaire, billionaire, successful, whatever, which could take, it took most billionaires today that are headlining in the news 10, 20 years. And if I sat here and told you, oh, this isn't going to happen for 10 to 20 years, you would be so devastated and disappointed. So that's why we don't look at the is it hindsight, foresight? We don't look at the, like, way in the future. The most successful people have said, if you have 20 goals, list 20 goals, right? And then don't even consolidate. Just 1 through 5, stop at 5, and then wipe the rest off and do those 5. Because someone who writes out 20 goals and checks off few, but writes down 1 or 2 goals and at least check them both, they said that the energy of success is like more helpful and productive to the energy of I haven't done it yet, or beating yourself up, or not feeling fulfilled. So when we talk about the brain and training yourself and reprogramming yourself, and I know you guys watch all these motivational kind of things, which is awesome, but retraining your brain, retraining your thoughts, positioning your focus to be stronger, more driven. I have heard, and I have discussed this with you guys, your habits and like feeling success more. Because someone who isn't used to failure, who isn't used to no, and I think about spoiled, entitled little children, when they grow up to be CEOs and run companies, they usually have a different attitude, confidence level, and mindset of their employees. Not education, mostly just finances. Okay, because I've seen a lot of employees know way more and be more intellectual and educated than the person who actually runs the company or manages it. So it's not that, it's confidence, it's drive, and then like I said, it's this feeling of accomplishment. Like they don't even expect failure. I mean, look at our past president, right? He's like, I ain't lose, and he's still saying he ain't lost. And it's like, brother, you're out of here, but I ain't lost. And he's, very wealthy and successful and has, regardless of the negativity, done, pretty much well in business if you just look at his accomplishments. So anyway, there's this energy of feeling success and habits and rituals. So what you think about, what you do, and how to reprogram yourself. Okay, so being assertive. But all in all, for those of you like me, look at that. I'm shuffling the cards, and it was just like, I was gonna ask, what is this good news about? And guess what I got? More news. Now for some of you, and I'm not landed on thick, they just fell. I won't even roll them over. They fell on the floor. Some of you, multiple offers. Some of you, some sort of victory. Others of you, this could be a text or like a letter that you're expecting. And like I said, you have different options, and you could be making a choice or a selection of something, which is kind of cool. And I don't care if it's even like you finally get that vacation and you're going to be online looking for different spots to travel to resorts to stay in, cars to purchase. I have business classes, and instead of giving them my vendors, they could be looking for, e-commerce stores. Who's going to host your email address, if you are looking to register a domain name or something like that. So this is about like receiving something and also making choices, or having, when I say a lot of decisions, I didn't want to paint the wrong picture and say, oh, confusion and not knowing what to do. No, it's not like that. Multiple options could just mean a selection. Okay. And nothing's wrong with selection. But when I was going to clarify to see what this good news was about, all you got was another good news card. And then, ironically, The Page of Pentacles does talk about your habits and like what do you do, and the looking at the bright side, and getting up earlier in the morning and being more productive. Kind of like the drive. Okay, the fire is the drive in the athlete, but the Daughter of Pentacles is kind of like the soul, the energy, that makes you okay, because you got to get up, right? The athlete may get up and run around in the neighborhood, but it's the Page of Pentacles energy that wakes him or her up because of the devotion, and the practicality into it. That if the King of Wands is choosing to be lazy that day, the Daughter of Pentacles energy would say, nah, but I'm not. Anywho, good news though, and you saw it here. Like, it's not one of those, I want to pick Pisces up because I've been seeing some crazy cards. Nope. You got the Three of Wands. Good news. The Daughter of Pentacles clarified it. Double good news. And then, like I said, possible wish fulfillment, and it coming toward you. Piggybacks off of something you could even be expecting. And I think that that's awesome. Okay. So it's like, I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse. Like, okay, here's some possible good news. And I'm like, okay, well, what is the good news? Good news. So I'm like, okay, source, cool. Now, if this is an acceptance letter, now I can say, even though this is about finances, life, and happiness, an acceptance letter could also be, just unison. Now, if this is spilling off into some of you guys' love life, because I have done that, where I've watched a reading about my love life and it sounds like my finances, and I've watched a reading about my finances that sounds like my love life, because of our Sun, Moon, Venus sign, and where the different houses, may fall for us in our natal charts. But it could be, as I said, an acceptance letter, like someone accepts your offer. Maybe you've made an offer. I get emails like that, like, yo, you looking for this, you looking for that, and then boom, an acceptance. But all in all, someone who has been committed, someone who loves and enjoys like the simplicity of things, and continues to go. I definitely love that. I feel like that's the type of person or energy you would have to be. So if you have that, this is like double emphasis on what's coming to you. And then, like I said, for work, it's the dedication and the hard work. And then any new task, like it's like someone who masters, like who's really good at just like doing new tasks. Now, I know it's about completion and finishing it, but embarking on a new business journey for some of you guys is very specific when it comes to the Page of Pentacles, that brings you some sense of stability. So if you've been like pushing and grinding and working, and it's like, when is it going to be stable? Maybe things are fluctuating, or your living conditions, your finances, your statistics when it comes to your business and your marketing and your money. When will I have just like something stable, a flow? Like, when is it going to let up? I feel like that's what that good news could be about, Pisces. So awesome. We are going to now move into your pick a card. And if any of my members say, well, why we didn't get the extended and the pick a card in the member section today? Well, how about you guys are going to get a little bonus card pull, huh? So for group 1, here's your card. For group 2, there's your card. And for group 3, here is your card. All right. Now, why do we keep getting this? For the collective, we got, let's see what's under it. And then we have, of course. Okay. So I like that. For group 1, you guys have the universe says yes. For group 2, you have for sure. So maybe make sure, for sure. And then group 3, I don't know, but you got use caution over that Chariot. So be mindful, because that Chariot, them horses just go, honey. So use caution. Until next time, guys. Namaste.